Alrighty. Welcome everyone to the Sonic Adventure 2 Battle Speedrun, here to Back to Black semi-final speedrun today. My name is Meltra, and with me I have PT.
Hi, I'm back again. You can't get rid of me. I'm the lead of the event. I run this joint, and I don't run Sonic games because I'm not patient enough to learn them, but I can learn the tech and talk about it. So I'm here with Meltra to run Sonic Adventure 2 again. Oh, I'm so excited.
I'm also very excited. Ready to count down. I guess now's as good a time as any.
Yes.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. So
I shouldn't laugh at that. Continue.
So here we go. We're in Iron Gate right now. First Eggman level. PT, what do you got? What can you tell us about this stage?
So the whole thing with the Eggman levels, by and large, is that you're going to be in this goofy little mech, and these levels, if you're playing the light story or the hero story, it would be Tails, but in this case it's Eggman. You're supposed to destroy targets with your laser pointer and your rockets, and then you're supposed to try and just make sure you don't take so many hits that you die. Now what Meltra's doing right here is, instead of waiting and sliding down the elevator, which takes 970 years, by the way, that's 2 animals that we got there, chap. We're going to go ahead and just let it do its thing, and then we're going to meet it a little bit further down. So the first thing that we picked up there is a skunk. The skunk actually gives kind of all-around stats. They're not great stats, but they're okay enough stats. And one of my favorite things about the child animals that you can pick up when you save them is that when you give them to your child, when they give them a nice little hug, will take on the traits of the animals that they pick up. Now, before we talk about what those traits are with this skunk in particular, we also have a bun we need to talk about. Meltra's making some really quick and tight movement through here, just making sure to grab some rings as backups, because the unique thing about the Robotnik levels in particular is that Robotnik, unlike Sonic, Tails, and everybody else, and we have 2 buns now, we also got a little Chaos Drive, but we're not going to talk about the Chaos Drive.
But you know what we can talk about real quick? We just got a $212 donation from Tantrum Merch saying, Hi GDQ, it's Tantrum Merch. We're elated to help Back to Black and Race Forward with their first event. With your help, we're happy to announce we raised $212 to benefit Race Forward. We appreciate all of the support.
Thank you so much to everyone who's been buying merch. The Tantrum Merch, it's kind of gas. I'm not gonna front. It's kind of gas. It's kind of dope. The Yeti shirt, linked to the Flash, banger. You need to go ahead and get you the shirt, and then go to Tantrum and get you the hat. Make yourself your Back to Black fit. I don't make the rules, I just enforce them. So what you saw Meltra just do there, thank you so much, by the way, Thor. What you saw Meltra do for a lot of that level is literally trigger some elevators, bypass them, and then use alternative methods, aka either just kind of jumping down to them later, or getting speed shoes and then getting just enough height that you could just skip over it and go towards the end of the level. Now, we would care about emblems on a regular day, but right now we don't, because we're just trying to do the dark story. We don't actually want to get all the other things that are going on. So the skunk that I mentioned previously, you can hug it, and then your child will take on a trait of skunk arms, skunk feet, and then a little skunk tail, and it's extremely cute. So right now we're doing the first boss of the Shadow Story, or the Dark Story. I say Shadow Story, it's really just Shadow Story.
It's the Shadow Story
from now on. It's the Shadow Story. And the way that this works is you want to try and get all those hits in. They had an enemy bar at the top right. It's already gone. And Meltra did really fast work on that, because if you let it get up and running, it'll actually start flying around, shooting at you, all sorts of stuff. And the camera in this game, if you thought the gravity in Sonic games was ghetto, the camera's garbage.
And speaking of
actual garbage,
speaking of things that are going fast, we are at $519 out of $650 towards that Save the Animals goal. Talk about speed running, chat. My goodness. Make sure that if you're donating, you are scrolling all the way to the bottom, choosing that as your incentive, because it seems like we're going to be saving a lot more animals tonight. Isn't that right, PT?
That is absolutely correct. If we get the full 650, that means we'll be saving all of the animals throughout the entire run. This is an incentive that Meltra came up with herself and has been looking forward to, and pitched it to me on the side. We got a couple of peacocks, and we got a gorilla too. And we got the rare green bear. Let's go.
Green
bear is a homie. Green Bear is the homie because it's another one that's neutral, but it has some good stats. And we got Unicorn.
And also,
oh my God,
it is $10 per animal to save an animal. And like I said, we're about $131 away from finishing up that incentive so we can save all these animals.
Oh my God. And y'all have no idea because the unicorns are some of my favorites, but I wanted to talk real fast about the Rouge levels. So all of the Rouge levels are going to be kind of like these hide and seek levels that you just saw. There's going to be 3 emerald shards around the level, and Meltra's job is going to be to find them and get them just taken care of as fast as they can to get in and out of the level. Now, usually this is RNG driven, so they can be placed a number of locations, but Meltra has such high knowledge of the Rouge levels that with a single hint, we know exactly where we need to go, exactly how to grab it, and exactly where to move on to the next one. The nice thing about those levels too is that if you get one that's early, that's not popping up on the radar yet, the game's not going to gate you out and say, hey, you can't grab that yet. No, by all means, grab it, and it'll just knock it out the radar and say, yep, you did great. Good job. Now, right here, we're going to take an intentional death because we're going to set up cycles again. We talked about cycles in the last speedrun, and the same thing applies for a lot of the Sonic games just in general, because if you're not on the correct cycle, then some of your tricks and whatnot don't actually work.
And also, yes, so right now we are going to be saving some more animals. Right now we've managed to raise 519, so I believe that's 51, and oh, never mind, we met the incentive. We just got a huge donation coming on in, and we are now at $719 out of 650, so it looks like we're saving all of the animals.
Oh my God, so Meltra, I love to hear it.
Looks like you're ready for some animal saving.
I am. So I'm going to give this trick one last shot, see if I can get it. I got it. Okay, here we go.
Let's go. You're doing great.
Nice. Very nice. So it looks like right there, this might be some new tech. I don't think I've seen this with you yet, Meltra.
Sure is. I cooked something up just for you guys. So this level is too hard. I don't want to play it anymore. And I'm going to skip the entirety of the level in Sand Ocean.
Oh, okay.
See that green guy over there? I'm going to collect it, work to the end, and get 5 animals all the way. Gotta get some bombs
how wonderful.
First.
And also,
this looks...
Go on.
Oh, wow. Oh, wait, are the bombs just pushing you down?
Oh, yeah.
That's amazing. So this gives me a chance to talk about something that we don't often or ever see in the Dark Story runs, which is the use of the Mystic Melody. So the Mystic Melody is actually more around a later game item. You can get it pretty early like you just did with Meltra here, but the idea behind the Mystic Melody is that you can use a kind of little magic flute. You blow it, and then it can do things like open up shortcuts. It can also reveal hidden treasure. Sometimes it'll get you bonus animals because you'll have occasional places where you can play the Mystic Melody and animals will come out to hang out with you. And that's how you get some of the rarer animals in the game as well. I can't believe I actually had a chance to just talk about the Mystic Melody because I never get to see it.
Never get to see a bat. I got a bat. Rouge the bat.
Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. Bat Friends. The Bat Friends are super cool because, as you would expect, they give you a lot of boost in your flying stats. If you've never played Sonic Adventure 2, I will be honest with you, I can't recommend it. It's a garbage game. I love it to pieces, but it's trash. But if there's a reason that you want to play Sonic Adventure 2, it's the child children. It's the child children because they can do things like give your... Oh, there's a parrot. Yep, we got the parrot. Fantastic. Because they can... Oh, we got double parrot.
Oh, okay.
Double ups. You're getting a lot of flying types right now. See, the chow animals are my Pokemon of choice. Those are my Pokemon of choice. But I'm going to take myself a small breather while Meltra goes through what looks like the rest of this level, kind of on par with what we've seen before. We're going to purposely take some damage there to get out, and then we're going to just head straight to the end ring. Thor, if you could hit us with some of those donations, that would be greatly appreciated.
I got you. And speaking of doubling up, we had quite a few $100 donos come in, and $100 from... with no comment, but you know, we appreciate regardless. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here. And another $100 from Anonymous with no comment. All donos are seen and appreciated, everyone. So thank you so much for coming on out. And then we've got a $200 dono from K Duffels with the simple word gaming. You know what? We are indeed gaming. And lastly, we've got a $27 dono from Robot Red. Big love for SA2B for donating here, giving 27 for the Eagles winning the Super Bowl and combining Hurts and Barkley jersey numbers. Go GDQ team, finish strong.
I love those.
So
guys.
just to let everybody know. Thank you so much, Thor, for all those wonderful donation reads, by the way. And also, hello to K Doubles. So we just saw a couple of restarts there, but that was in the name of saving the animals, because we went back to the beginning of the first level of this entire run and said, oh, we got a pipe that we gotta go by to. And we just grabbed us another animal because we're going to make sure we're saving all the animals as we promised. So there we have a hamster. We've got some seals. So all the animals also give very specific stats. I was talking about this a little bit with our bat friend. Bat friend gives flying points, but something that's very dangerous about the animals when you're collecting them is the fact that, there's another hamster friend. Love that for us. Is that the fact that some of them also will take away from your stats. So bat friends give you lots of points in flying, but then you lose points in, I think it's swimming and something else. I can't remember right off the top of my head. But then you have things like seal friends who give you lots of points in swim, and they give you lots of stamina. But seals cannot fly, so you might lose a point or two in your flying. And in all of these cases, you'll get animals that give you hands, feet, and then usually a little bonus piece. So the unicorn gets their unicorn horn, the seal gets a little flapper tail, the bat, it actually erases their feet and gives them little bat wings. It's the cutest thing in the world. Play Sonic Adventure 2 to raise child children. I am telling you right now, chat. I'm telling you right now. We just picked up a tiger.
And also,
looks like
we've got a bid war going on right now for Octopath Traveler, the Japanese language pack, winning out at $817 at the moment to a very close English, $697 for that English pack. So everybody, if you're watching Octopath Traveler and you want to see one language pack over the other, make sure you go and donate. And when you do, scroll down, hit that incentive, and make sure to give towards the bid war. But there we go. We are $41,300. We are so close to $42,000. Wow.
All right, we're killing it, chat. Absolutely killing it. So I think Meltra's about to do one of my most hated skips. Yep, that's one of them. It gives me anxiety. I don't like when we skip entire highway pieces. There's going to be another one in this level. I don't know if are we right on it? Oh, we are not right on it. But there's another one that's going to be coming up here that literally is just like, I've decided I'm done with this level, and then we'll just jump through the rest. It's horrifying. Every time it's done, I can't stand it. Actually can't stand it. But Radical Highway in and of itself, we also mentioned that. Oh, it's this one.
Oh, God. Ugh.
Yeah, it makes me squick. It makes me uncomfortable. It makes me so uncomfortable. Also, Knight's shout out in the background. We talked about Radical Highway a great deal in the previous game. That's because it's based off of this wonderful level that we're seeing here. Meltra just did a clip through the level there to make sure that we don't have to do all the extra loop-de-loops that Sega loves to show off with their Speedy Boys all the time. We love our Speedy Boys. We enjoy going fast, but we also like going faster. And sometimes that means clipping through the floor to the end of the loop-de-loop, unfortunately.
I mean, if you're not clipping through the floor, are you playing a Sonic game? Like, I love my floor clips. I love my floor clips.
I feel like that's just being mean to Sega at that point.
Well, listen, that is a tried and true speedrunning trick, okay?
Yeah, 9 times out of 10, if you're playing a Sonic 3D game, you can probably cut through that floor. It's true. It's very true. So now we're on to the next Rouge level. And in this case, you're not going to be... Oh, no, I think you're getting shards. Or I forget if you're getting shards or keys. We're going to find out here in a second when the radar comes up. Which one did you say, Meltra?
Keys.
It is keys. Okay. So now you need to get keys because for some reason, the Chaos Emerald that you're seeking pieces for, its pieces are within locked locations on occasion? Question mark? The whole reason that the Master Emerald broke is because Rouge was trying to take it, Knuckles said nope, and decided the correct solution was to punch it and break it. And then the pieces went everywhere. So now we're getting... Oh, it's another skunk. Yeah, another skunky boy, another neutral.
And speaking of another skunk, we also have another fantastic donation from Alien Crustacean, $50, saying, those chows need to be saved. And don't you worry, we're getting right on that.
So in this particular case, it looks like we took an intentional death because after searching around to see if the radar would go off in some cases, it was way too far out of reach, at which point Meltra said, you know what, we're just going to reset. And the nice thing about the Rouge levels in particular is that whenever you reset them, if you haven't picked up pieces yet, those pieces will then kind of reshuffle and go elsewhere.
So for example, I basically teleported back to the red room and it was just pretty fast because my piece was right there. It's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
and then the animal that just got picked up is kind of almost, what is it? It's not Swamp Thing. It kind of looks like it, but it's weird. But what were you about to say, Thor?
I was going to ask, do you have a favorite level for both of you for this game?
Ooh, because I'm going to let Meltra take that first.
I'd also love to hear from chat what your favorite levels are. And if you want to put that in the donos and let us know what your favorite Sonic Adventure 2 battle levels are, I'd love to hear it.
Love Sand Ocean. Gotta be my favorite.
Sand Ocean?
Mm-hmm.
Sand Ocean's a good choice, honestly. I never really thought about that one, but for me, probably the Lost Colony, honestly, which I think is the level you're doing right now. I love this level.
Oh my gosh! I think I'm gonna be the basic in the group, and I'm gonna have to go with White Jungle.
I thought you were gonna say City Escape, but that's a good stage too.
Oh no, I was gonna say White Jungle. City Escape is fun. Don't get me wrong. Nice drop, by the way, directly to the Bun Bun, no less. So you've seen what? Bun Buns, Parrots, Gorillas, and a couple others. It's a fun stage. I feel like, though, once you get past the not quite boarding, because you're boarding on concrete, it really just becomes, as much as I hate to say it, just kind of like a generic Sonic stage. And I'm just like, I mean, that's okay. It's there. The opener's a banger. The energy it gives, unmatched.
Yeah, play Dark for a reason.
Yeah, it's true. But speaking of, we just picked up an important upgrade, which is our bazookas. And the bazookas allow us to do things like, I don't know, shoot more stuff. We like shooting more stuff with more stronger, powerful bullets.
Now, despite this being like one of my favorite stages, this was also for the longest time one of my least favorite stages, because I would constantly fall here into the death traps very easily. And but now going through it, knowing what you're doing, it's an entirely different ball field.
Well, I feel like that's the case for any game that you've put a lot of hours in. By the way, we also just had a kind of boosting glitch there that Meltra did in order to get across that really long walkway that was in the outside areas. Instead of going around and walking through and following the actual geometry, Meltra pause buffered it, which allowed for it to actually miscount the jump and then boost off of the jump, which gave enough height to go over and across the bridge, instead of, again, having to do the old way of just walking around. Because the way that drifting for Tails and Robotnik works in this game is when you activate it, you always by default float downwards. You're going to see that happen a couple of times where Meltra is going to pause buffer it so that it gets confused and then makes us boost upward before it says, wait, that's the wrong direction, and then slowly starts coasting down as it intended. But that extra height helps us get over a lot of platforms, a lot of trajectory, a lot of other things that, honestly, we're trying to go fast. We don't have time for none of this.
Now, for those who are new to speedrunning or maybe not familiar with the concept, what is pause buffering, especially in the aspect of this game, PT?
So pause buffering is going to be when you pause the game, and obviously that means everything stops, and then it's going to force things to reset before you unpause it again. So this is why sometimes when you pause some of your older games especially, you kind of see like that little itty bitty bit, like it's hardly noticeable, but if you look really hard for it, the little bit of just kind of like that stutter before it starts back up, that's because it has to pick up, so to speak, where it left off. And because you are doing something in the middle of that pause, when you go to unpause it and it's going to recollect itself, it's like, I don't remember what I was doing. I think I was going up. I think that's what was happening. And that's why you want to use stuff like that. Someone with more technical knowledge could probably describe it better. Shovel Claws is in chat in shambles, just like PT. That's not pause buffering. Listen, I'm a simple person with simple requests trying their darndest, okay? So I'm trying to keep it on regular terms.
Well, you know what?
Oh, that cheetah.
That worked perfect for me. Completely understood. And also, is now a good time for a donation?
It is indeed, because we're just doing some more pause buffering and floating around.
We just got in a $25 donation from Frozen Flygon saying, Happy final day, everyone. Can we get some love in chat for everyone who's made Back to Black possible? Congratulations on an amazing first charity event. Cannot wait to see this community and these events continue to grow. And we love that, Frozen Flygon. And thank you so much for helping us raise money for Race Forward and the Butterfly Lab, and also for helping to talk more about safety solutions for issues for Black and Indigenous peoples. We really, really appreciate the dono. And also, we have $20 from New Amber. Thank you so much. This money will go towards benefiting our charity, and we really appreciate all the help. Thank you so much.
So as I just mentioned here, we're seeing a lot of that buffering coming into play to allow us to just completely bypass entire sections. The area that Meltra just passed up literally wants you to walk around, go up to a top area, do some more shenanigans, get some combos to open up some stuff, and then you have to go scaling back down. Meltra said, I don't have time for that. I have a Phoenix to pick up and I have things to do. And therefore we are pause buffering to try and get this in the right spot. There we go. And now we are quite literally, as we're floating downward, just gonna go ahead and see all this extra stuff, see all these shenanigans and nonsense. No, we have a goal ring, and that's what our target is. That's what our target is.
Now, Meltra, do you have a part of this game that is really, really hard for you, like in terms of speed running or anything of that nature?
Yeah, White Jungle. Happens to be PT's favorite state.
Is there a reason why that one's so hard?
It's because there's a bunch of tricks in there that are pretty precise. We're going to see a lot of it. You know, we don't have to talk about Tails. He's going to die. But when you go to White Jungle, it's going to be, you know, so there's a lot of precise tricks that I got to do that are kind of do or die. It's above like a pit. And it's just like, oh, come on. That level, man.
And also, one last thing. We have a bid war going on right now for Octopath, Japanese, and English language packs, and it's within around $100 of each other. Now, the thing is that this bid war will end at the end of this run, so if you do want to see one of those language packs, make sure you get that donation in now, and make sure that when you're making that donation, you put that towards the bid war of your choice, because I'll tell you what, you can't go wrong with either. But for me personally, I love the Japanese language pack, but the English one is spectacularly done. And it's got Best Girl, so, you know. But continue on, PT.
I was going to say, I don't know if we're going to see Best Girl. Oh, we're throwing Oma Chow?
We're doing a cool clip here. Let's check this one out.
Oma Chow useful?
Oma Chow useful. Can never be done.
My God.
Oh my giggles! I love that for you. I have a running joke that anytime I see Oma Chow, because I've played this game so much, I get irritated and I'm like, please stop talking. By the way, what we just picked up there is a raccoon. A little cute trash panda. And it's blue. And it's another neutral animal. It has probably the best tail in the game. It has the best tail in the game, I'd have to say, like right off the rip. But the bat getting rid of your feet is probably one of my favorite aesthetics. I think there's also like technically a pet ghost, but it's like super rare. Oh, putting an emerald, is the emerald actually, oh, you're getting an animal. That's outrageous. But yes, the peacocks I think are hideous. They have great flying stats. They have great flying stats, but you know.
The dancing here in between the lasers is giving me anxiety. Like I tried to do this one time and it was just ended up in multiple game overs.
Yeah, it's yeah, the lasers are like not, they're not great. But trash pandas are cool. Trash panda's cool. Blue trash panda is probably one of my favorite ones. Oh. So chat, with all the animals that I've been naming off thus far, I know it's been rapid fire, but you've seen some of them. I think there's only one I haven't called out yet. Is there any that are calling to you? Do you have any of the animals that you're like, ooh, I'd like to have my chow hug that one?
Can I ask, is there a turtle in this game?
Only the one that's in the first level for Rouge that you have to ride the back of.
You know what? That's totally fine. There's a turtle. That's a win. I'll take it.
So now you're fighting this boss, which is kind of like the flying cousin of the one that Shadow fought earlier. And this is particularly irritating because with Shadow and them, they're very bouncy boys. But with Rouge, she's much more elegant. She's much more classy. She glides, she floats, and she also has a really high kick. So that's what we're going to be using to get rid of this nerd. And that's precisely what we did. We just floated into it a bunch. And then sometimes when things get a little sketch, we do have to do the spinning kick to get underneath it and nail a hit. But Now we're into White Jungle, and I can completely understand why Meltra doesn't like this level, because the reason I like it is the same reason that she does not like it.
Oh.
And that is because there's lots of winds, lots of twists, lots of turns, lots of action. You got the drum and bass drumming in your ear. You've got to go ducking and diving underneath things. You have lots of baddies coming after you, but then there's a skunk under there. That feels like a low reward. I can't believe that. I feel like that at least deserves a blue bear. I think that deserves at minimum a blue bear.
You know what?
But
I'm right there with Meltra, though. I don't like this stage either.
Why? It's super fun. It's high octane. It's like just all the sick Sonic movement. But yeah, as a speedrunner, it's completely understandable.
It makes me feel like a bowling ball. I'm just going down, waiting to get back to the to be rolled back out again. Man, too fast for me.
Oh, the speed is what makes the appeal, though. What do you mean, Thor? We're in a speed running event.
I know, but I'm gonna need you to slow down.
Oh no, slowing down a speedrun event. We gotta get you off the mic. You're fired.
Man. Okay, well.
Can't. It's been real GDQ, but Thor does not work for us anymore. Sorry. We just picked up Purple Bear, which is another fun little neutral one. I want to say with the colored bears too, some of their stats will vary, but you don't have any negative stats coming from them, which is nice. But I'm surprised that I've yet to see my least liked animal, which is the penguin.
Penguin's
pretty ugly.
Later. Yeah, I don't even think I'm getting a penguin. So you're lucky day, I guess.
Penguin's gorgeous.
Oh, the penguins in this game are absolutely bottom tier. It's because they have these really big, ugly eyebrows that kind of look like they came straight out of Crash Bandicoot and just slapped them onto a penguin.
Wow, remind me to hide my eyebrows the next time I see PT. But speaking of things...
No, I'm not. I'm not trying to be an eyebrow hater. It's just the eyebrows on the penguins in particular are gross. And the reason that you notice it is because if your child hugs the penguin, that's one of the features it can pick up, is the eyebrows. And just the eyebrows.
You know what? That's unfortunate for a chow. Like, anything else, that's unfortunate. Or, you know what? If you put eyebrows on Sonic...
So I think right now we're trying to focus up on getting a trick, because it's something that requires a little bit of that clipping action that we've seen before with getting through things that you're not supposed to be getting through. And let me see here, bouncing around.
One of the things about White Jungle is sometimes just randomly kills you. So this is the first level that was built by the developers, and because of that, all the geometry's kind of messed up. So I'm just gonna get through this without doing anything. It's so aggravating.
We have a $25 donation from Dr. MCAC. Love the runs and the positive energy. Remember to take care of each other. Well, when PT's not ripping my eyebrows apart, I will. Absolutely.
I'm not ripping your eyebrows apart. No, when we see them, you'll be able to see, Thor. My disgust is very, very justified, because it's just like, it's one of those design decisions that you look at it and you're like, but why?
Okay, fair enough. And also, we have a $10 donation from Nadia. Can't believe we get to see more Shadow. Look at my little guy go. Please raise a dark chow. Oh, see, Nadia, I'm right there with you. I love my dark chows.
Yeah, you know.
And also, that...
You're running...
Oh, sorry, go on.
Yeah. No, you're about to say it. I can tell. You go for it.
I was going to say, speaking of other things that are getting close, we got that bid war that is getting really close, like within $50, $60 of one another. It is 817 versus 757 for that language pack for Octopath Traveler. So make sure you get those donations in, and make sure you put towards the bid war when you go to do your donos. This way you can select which one you want. It's going to be a banger of a run.
So now we're having the classic Faker fight, where we get to go in and bully Sonic, and we just kind of... Sometimes we let Sonic get a hit, and then other times we roll into Sonic because he's a nerd. More times than not, we roll into Sonic because he's a nerd. And then Meltra decides to jump off for swag points because we come back up and Sonic is on the ground. I think one of my favorite details about Sonic Adventure 2, in terms of the engine being so jank as well, is the fact that no matter what position Sonic or Shadow are in, their actual quills, if you call it that, or their spikes, are always moving.
You know what that end clip of Shadow standing over Sonic like that reminded me of? Was that Sonic visual novel game they came out with recently? That's exactly what that looked like to me.
Now,
Murder of Sonic the
on,
Hedgehog.
Yes, that one. Yes, I couldn't remember.
So at this point, we are now on Route 280, which is the sister level to the one that you would do on Tails on the Hero story. And this level is obnoxious because there's not really a whole lot of ways to bypass the level proper. You kind of just have to do your laps and wait for the level in time. And it gives you times for laps and other stuff. But truth be told, if you get to the first time extended and your time stops moving, you're more than safe. So if you're ever playing this level and you feel like you're going to run out of time, there's a pretty good chance that you won't. What we're doing here is we're kind of dragging the back end of the car a little bit, which is very easy to do with the controls and how they're set up. And the reason that we're doing that is because we're going to be trying our best not to do too much with hitting cars and whatnot in specific. Hitting the wall is a little bit less of a detriment because we can use that to kind of course correct or even just kind of put us back on track of where we need to be. But then on occasion you have terrible things like what we just passed, which is areas that you need to drift and there's no wall, which is a nice little surprise if you're not ready for it because it's just a free way to throw away your lives. As we're going around getting rings, we're specifically getting the rings to get boost, and then Meltra's going to find optimal places to boost to make sure that we can get through this track as quickly as possible. But I would cut you off on accident, Thor. What would you like to add in?
Oh, I was just going to say, I thought you were finished, but is now a good time for donations?
Sure.
Oh, now is a great time for donations.
I know this level can be a bit of a doozy if you catch my drift, chat. And see what I did there, drift. But we have a $25 donation coming in to support our partner Race Forward. $25 from the Jaded Mew. Thank you so much, Jaded Mew, for that wonderful donation. And also a $10 dono from Witherman saying, "Hi, Meltra. It seems like you got some wonderful peeps in the background here rooting you on." And lastly, we have a $10 dono from Beatty saying, "My favorite Sonic song, Mystic Mansion from Heroes." So, you know what? Mystic Mansion is forgotten about a lot. That's a good one. It's a very good one.
If we're going to go back down the road of songs that are favorites, I think I also have to give a special shout out to the remix by T. Lopez for Chemical Plant Zone 2.
Ooh, good choice.
But yeah, this is Rouge catching up to the tornado, which Tails is flying in and does not suspect a car that is shaped like a bat following him.
I mean, to be fair, I would be very shocked if there was a car that looked like a bat following me, especially how fast they're going. Like, what does the speedometer say there?
It's very fair.
I don't think
We're
we
going
have a
through the little
speedometer.
messages too. What'd you say, Meltra?
Skyrim.
Oh, one of my favorites.
I'm in pursuit.
We're gonna get so many animals.
I was gonna say, I remember when I played this casually, I was so bad at it because I just sucked at rails.
You know,
Baby Ram! Sorry.
No, you're good. That was adorable. I was just going to say, you know, the one Sonic game that allowed me to get really good with rails was Sonic Heroes, because boy, did that game love rail levels, especially by the time you got to the end of it.
Yeah. But sometimes Meltra just says, we don't acknowledge rails. We're just going to use the pumpkins that are definitely not the same pumpkins that were in Knuckles level. Sure weren't. Those weren't the same. Why would you think that? That's so bizarre.
I won't lie, I didn't realize you could jump on those. I just thought you had to use the rails. So today I learned you don't have to use the rail system for that part.
So the rail system is a wild take.
Well,
so you treat it like it's public transit.
I mean, isn't it in this part of the world? Let me tell you, I'm not catching that bus anytime soon.
The bus requires me to have balance. I regret to inform you I'm walking. I wanted to point out, too, the Ram is probably one of my favorite ones because one of the special details you get for the Rams when your child hugs it is a chance at getting the Ram horns. And they curl around the back of their head, and they're extremely adorable. Much cuter than an egg golem by a long shot. And then we also, I think we've seen each color bear at this point because we've seen the purple, we've seen the blue, we've seen the green. And then we've seen the one that kind of looks like the Loch Ness Monster's child or something. So anyway, this boss is dead because why not? And Meltra decided to go down with it.
Meltra melting bosses, impressive.
It saved a little bit of time. Now we got mat space. The animals in here are a little hard to get, but I'll make it work.
And also, oh, go on.
No, you go ahead. You're the one trying to work here.
Hey, you know what? I'm enjoying what I do, and I love seeing this amazing speedrun event. Also, chat, I just wanted to announce we are just $500 away from 42,000, more specifically $539 from reaching $42,000 for this fantastic event, and we'd love to reach that tonight. And if you do want to donate, you can donate specifically towards the Octopath Traveler language pack bid war we've got going on right now. Japanese is inching ahead. Like it's gotten to like a $90 gap. So if you want English to win over Japanese, now's the time to get in there and make sure you select that bid war incentive so that you can see the voice pack that you want. I'm looking forward to it.
So Meltra, I'm assuming in this setup that you're going to try and just get your animals first and then go do your pieces, unless you have one that's conveniently placed.
Exactly. Yep.
Perfect.
So now I've got what I need.
Excellent. So for the people who are paying attention to the monitors as well, the monitors, you'll see that their words are kind of jacked up. It's because it's actually written in reverse. So this is the titular Rouge level that either makes or breaks whether or not you like the Rouge levels. And this is the one that makes me tired because I always get a headache doing this level, trying to remember which planet I've been to and why I should go there and all of those things. And so these are all in reverse, which means that obviously you have to just unjumble them by putting it in the right order. And because of that, there's another thing that's important about using the TV screens. Your score is dependent also on how many screens you activate. So if you can get a piece without using any screens whatsoever, that's classified as a perfect score. The second that you touch a single screen, it automatically drops down to an awesome, which isn't bad. The scoring for it is really strong, but it's still not a perfect because you had to go get an assist.
PT, I feel like you just called me out on this level in particular.
Why?
You know, I lost a speedrun or a speedrun race against somebody one time because of this level, because I could not, in fact, learn the level.
It's a rough level. I love the soundtrack for it. That's the thing that keeps me coming back to it. But the level itself is just so large. But now you're in a nice, small, enclosed, singular space because you have to do the fight with Rouge and Knuckles. Again, this is a fight that would show up if you're on the Hero Path too, where you'll be playing as Knuckles against Rouge. But we are here to be Rouge beating up Knuckles, who is very adamant on making sure that you know that that emerald is his. And that's a super cool story, but you also have lots of pieces to yourself. And so now what Meltra's going to do is just go up and bully him by flying right above him and then just drill kicking down into him, because for some reason that makes his brain just completely malfunction. Whoa. Oh, never mind. He's dead. Who cares?
When Knuckles comes a knocking, boy gets a clocking. That's all I'll say.
I'm about to fire you so bad. Oh, I'm going to fire you.
Too fast with the puns? I'm sorry. I'm here all night. Quite literally. I'm here all night.
I'm free after this, so I don't have to listen to your nonsense. So now we're on a Robotnik level that gravity decides to work the opposite direction. Remember how I said before that when you're boosting, you'll always just float in a downward trajectory? Now we're on a level where when you boost, it actually wants to carry you up, which is why it has all of the signposts that says up. It's literally floating up. This shouldn't be something that you don't get after a bit. You're going to be floating up, and you're going to float up a lot, which makes our lives a lot easier because now we don't have to do all types of buffering unless there's just more places we need to get to. You'll see that there's going to be obstacles in the way that keep you from trying to go up as quickly as possible. But that's when Meltra decides, there's also just going around stuff like you just saw there. So this makes a nice little level for, you just get to jump a lot. You get to jump a lot, you get to jump some more. I think it's time for some donations while we get our jumps on, because this makes my legs tired.
Absolutely, and while we're getting that as well, I'll also remind you that we've got some wonderful prizes tonight, especially if you like Sonic. Especially, we've got a Shadow Chow Amigurumi, and we also have a Puyo Puyo Carbuncle Amigurumi as well as some Kingdom Hearts chainmail. So make sure you get your donations in. Take a look at the prizes as you do so, and make sure you look at that bid war incentive for Octopath Traveler. But we've got some fantastic donations. $50 from Anonymous going to our partner Race Forward tonight. Thank you so much for the $50 donos. We really appreciate that and can't wait to see all the amazing runs left in the night. And then, of course, we've got $25 from Mercy saying, thank you for the fast hedgehog games. Thank you so much for being here. And then, let's see. We've got a $10 dono from Storm. Thank you so much, Storm, for supporting Race Forward and Back to Black. We appreciate it.
So I wanted to go ahead and explain what's happening here. So Meltra decided to do a clipping trick through a specific area in the level, which allows for her to clip up into it and then float out of bounds. So now it looks like we're kind of floating aimlessly into nothingness, but what Meltra's actually doing is purposely floating in a certain direction that's going to take her directly to the end goal. So this was a great time to read some donations because we just kind of are here hanging out, you know, having some vibes, listening to maybe some Tame Impala, looking at the stars, having some good feels, might have a snack.
And speaking of good feels, we also have a $100 donation from Anonymous saying SA2B music, let's go. I know that's right? I mean, there is, I think all the songs in this game are an absolute banger to say the very least. Meltra, do you have a favorite song in this game?
Eternal Engine.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh, good choice.
Good play. That's a good play. So now we actually can see some of the pipe that is appearing above us that lets us know that we are on track, because that is usually something that we would run down towards to get to the end of the level. But we're just kind of casually floating under it because the game just realized, oh, right, this is where you are. We should start loading in some more of the game. The game doesn't know that we are in the wrong position, and that's okay because what it doesn't know will not hurt it. We're just going to keep on floating until we can clip through that, and then we're going to just go ahead and mosey right on to the goal area, because this is a level that if you can't skip it, I'm honest with you, I endorse skipping it because it's an annoying one. It's absolutely obnoxious. While we're finishing our descent, you can go ahead and read a few more donor reviews.
Absolutely. And also, chat, we are almost at $42,000 tonight. I don't know about you, but I think we can get to 42,000 by the end of this run. I would love to see it. 42, one of my favorite numbers as well. Make sure you get in those donations and tell us, what is your favorite part of Sonic Adventure 2? Whether it's a character, a stage, let's get a $10 dono train going. See if we can reach that $42,000. We also have $10 from Anonymous going towards Race Forward, going directly towards charity. Thank you so much, Anonymous. We also have $7 from Sock, also going to Race Forward. Thank you very, very kindly. And then we also have a fantastic donation that says $10 from Chronic Dark. Sonic says, let's go Race Forward. And I know that's right. All this money is going towards Race Forward to support Butterfly Lab, which is a 3-year initiative that was launched in 2020. And I can't wait to see how far this money goes. Thank you so much for all your support, everyone.
So while you were reading the donations, we just casually did our second Tails fight. We're actually getting very close to the end of the run. So right now we're on Final Chase, which means that we will be unfortunately grabbing our last 5 animals for the run. And as we're grabbing the last 5 animals, I'll see if I can drop off some more fast animal facts. We're going to be doing, I think we're going to go for a couple of skips here. Meltra might try to downplay it and say that they aren't sure, they're not comfortable, but I've seen Meltra's work, and I believe that we're going to get some really good clips, some good out of bounds movement, and some really, really dangerous tricks that are like hard to pull off, but when you get them, it just feels oh so good. Now we might also have to skip those tricks, because if we're grabbing animals and we skip all the animals, then that means that we would have lied to you, and we don't want to be liars here at GDQ. So this is the actual final traversal level, and then from here I want to say afterwards it's just fighting Sonic and we're done. So it looks like we're going to do a little bit of a skip here, going into this area. You go ahead and sneak in some donations, and then we'll see when it's focus time to get into that final cut. If we get it, then that means you have all the donation fodder you can handle.
Absolutely. And like I said, we are just a little bit away from 42K. We've got $25 from Karen saying, what a fantastic way to spend a superb Sunday. Let's go, y'all. I know that's right. What was that, Meltra?
Sorry. I think that we just did a reset on purpose.
No worries at all. We've also got
Hold on. We need to lock in.
Oh, of course. Go lock in.
I'm so sorry I had to cut you off like that, but I just realized what was happening.
No worries at all.
Well, I'll give this give this 3 more tries.
Okay. Not a problem. Again, I do apologize, though. I just realized what part we were on.
Oh, when you need to lock in, you need to lock in. No shame in that.
Select a store.
So while I go through this, because mostly the same thing, trying to jump off this rail at a certain frame to get the end of the level. It's pretty hard.
Mm-hmm.
Last try, and then I'll just do the level normally.
Okay, not a problem. And I can explain it in more detail as you're going through the level. It's not a big deal.
You got it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, all right. So what we were trying to do there is, as Meltra kind of started off by saying, is there's a certain point on this specific rail that you can pause buffer, try to find the exact frame that you're looking for, and then jump off of the rail in such a fashion that you'll go out of bounds, but it won't register that you're out of bounds. And so we'll do another case of just floating in the air while blasting our favorite emo kids music. And so in this particular case, it's super early in the game, super early in the level. If you get it, you'll float for a good bit of time, 150%. But after you float for that good bit of time, you literally just land on the goalpost. Like, it is drastically faster, but it is also an extremely hard trick because it is frame perfect. And Meltra, I have seen get it in the past, but I'm gonna go ahead and say that you had other things on your mind because you had animals to save, and that really is what dominated your thinking. So I respect having given it a couple of attempts, but also saving all those extremely cute, small, adorable animals, because we also just got the penguin. I don't know if people saw it, but the penguin's disgusting. Did you say another penguin?
Yeah, sorry about that.
I still love penguins.
No,
you said that, but you know what's funny? For this event, I did do my eyebrows. You're talking about eyebrows. It's like, yeah.
No, well, for what it's worth, every time I have these events and I know I'm going to be on camera, I always do my eyebrows and my upper lip, so I can't judge anyone.
True.
I am very big on that type of stuff when I have to present. But no, it's just the eyebrows, I feel like, are just a weird choice for the penguin, because the penguin is like, it's a small chubby guy. It looks like a little brick. It's got the little flippers. Ooh, we're doing some tricks off of the sidewalls.
Oh my god.
Here. Oh yeah. We may not have got the first big trick, but honestly, it just means you get more tricks because now you get to see more content. So we don't actually ride.
I guess you could say this trick is off the walls.
I will kick you off of this microphone.
This is off the wall.
Oh, don't co-sign it, Meltra.
Yes, more sabotage. Let's go.
Good God. But yeah, we're doing a lot of that move. We're doing a lot of that movement explicitly because we actually don't want to deal with the rails. Because the rails, it's balancing, it's back and forth. There's all those like dynamics, and just Sega being Sega, wanting to show off, hey, look at how fast we're going and how cool we are. That's super neat. So anyway, we're going to go to the level, and that's why we just kind of decide to go off the walls there. It's not, no.
Also, we are less than $500 away from 42,000, chat. Can we get to 42,000 by the end of this run? I think so. Man, look at that rocket go. Holy moly. See, that'd be terrifying for me. I couldn't do that. I couldn't. Shadow's built different.
So that jump that Meltra just did is like the last 3 seconds of the big skip that we were trying to pull off earlier. Like, it's literally just derived from that to a certain degree. So imagine getting the skip and you're doing that free fall, looking at the earth for about a good, I'd say 12 to 15 seconds.
And you don't know if you
maybe
make it
longer.
Either, so.
Yeah. But now we're on the final boss, and it's Sanic, the original Faker. We got to beat him up.
Whoa, who's that blue hedgehog?
It's like, who's this guy? Who is this guy?
Man, Shadow's the real homie. That's all I'll say, okay? Shadow's the real homie.
I didn't get to
So the strategy for this is...
go ahead.
The strategy for this is the same as it has been any other time. If you've played this casually, there's a good chance that the way that you beat Sonic was quite literally you just kind of kept jump balling into him. And when he gets too far from you, he magically discovers how to do chaos control himself, which is, you know, the shadow staple, but we don't talk about that.
Just wow.
And I believe that's time.
Yes, it is. Good game, good run. Save the animals. We did it.
Meltra,
save the animals.
Fantastic job. We did it, chat. Let's get some hype in chat for Meltra right here. Absolutely incredible run. I cannot tell you how amazed I am to see some of those absolutely amazing skills. I could play Sonic Adventure 2 for 100 years and never come that close. But let me ask, Meltra, you did fantastic tonight. Where can people find you and what do you play? Tell them about what you do, and if there's any shout outs you want to give, please feel free to. And thank you so much. And you as well, PT.
Thank you so much, Meltra, per usual, for having me on your couch. I know in my last couple of times I was super duper technical, but this time was a little bit more loose because I really enjoy talking about the animals for the Chow. I may or may not have most of my hours at this point in the Chow Garden, complete with my PC file, having a completely modded Chow Garden that has the old school gardens from the Dreamcast and other stuff. It's a whole thing. But I do appreciate you inviting me back so much, and I'm so glad that you got to put this on for a charity fundraising event.
Always a pleasure. Thank you, PT. Thank you, Thor. You can find me on Twitch. You can find me on Blue Sky. Follow me on Blue Sky as well. I speedrun Sonic Adventure 2, Link to the Past, Animal Well, and a couple more indie games that I'm really big into with regards to movement and really tight skips. Sort of drawn to it. So Race for It is such a good cause. Let's get to 42,000 if we're not already, right? And I think we can do it. That's just about it for me.
Meltra.
And I'm not, and I'm not doing any shout outs because y'all not quite done with me.
Shout outs to Witherman. Witherman donated and he helped me feel better about myself. Yeah. Thank you, Witherman.
We love to hear it. Thank you, Witherman, and thank you so much.